Now let's get a little update on Vortex.
On Monday, this time, Mike Bettis is going to be on the road for the adventure of a lifetime. We have the technology where Mike's going to be able to be driving in the car, broadcasting live on our show. So you want to stay tuned for that. Let's head live now to Mike Bettis, who's in Norman, Oklahoma. Mike, you're going to be in the car, but there's going to be numerous people that are going to run out of the car and drop probes in front of the path of a tornado. Is there any sort of training they have to go through? Are they all meteorologists? How does that work? You can't just throw anyone out there.
They are all meteorologists, Stephanie, and usually how the teams will work is this. A lot of times they're coming from universities, and so they'll have a team leader, a professor, if you will, and then a lot of grad students that'll get out there, and they're just gung-ho to do this. And so like the team from Texas Tech, they've got the stick nets, and they can deploy these things in a matter of just 2 minutes. So they're looking for the storm to develop. Once they see it do that, they pop out, they put the probes down, and then boom, they get out of there, hightail it, and wait for the storm system to come over. We're going to be with them pretty much the whole time. I think you're going to see some pretty fascinating stuff, that's for sure. But this is a huge project, no question about it. It's been years in the making, and it doesn't come cheap either. But where does all that funding come from? Where do your taxpayer dollars go? Well, let's bring in the man that can tell you all about it. His name is Dr. Brad Small, National Science Foundation, and NSF has really been the spearheader in this entire Vortex 2 project, and you're really excited about this.
We are extremely excited, Mike. This group of scientists first approached NSF more than 2 years ago. So while I understand that the focus is on this next 5 weeks, what I'd like the viewers to know is that the plans for Vortex have been literally years in the making. NSF has been working with these scientists. The plans have been vetted. Critical reviews have been done, and only after all those tests have been satisfied have we at National Science Foundation elected to move forward in supporting this project.
This is not just a bunch of crazy chasers out there doing something. There is legitimate science here, and the hope is to get some decent education out of this too.
Absolutely. One of the great things I think we accomplish at NSF, we're certainly supporting this equipment and the senior researchers who operate it, but by virtue of supporting our support in this project is feeding at least 10 universities and 3 nonprofit organizations, all of which bring a cadre of students to be involved. So we have the senior researchers and the students. The next generation of researchers are being trained on the job.
Obviously, this gets a lot of people excited because you see stuff like the movie Twister. This is real life, a Twister for sure. But it's not just stuff like tornadoes. NSF is involved in so many different projects.
To be sure. We've chosen to focus on tornado genesis in Vortex 2 in this period. But the program that I work in at NSF, along with Dr. Steve Nelson, funds a wide variety of studies. Hurricanes are one topic. Coastal storms, storms impacting mountains, orographic precipitation is another. Aerosols that are in the air that interact with climate and clouds are yet another. So this is just one focus for a period in our foundation's activities.
You personally went to OU. You have a very big interest in weather, that's for sure. When you look at a project like this, does it take you back to those days when you used to chase?
It impresses me, Mike. You know,
this is huge. I mean, this has never been done before.
Yeah, this story is about our investigators. But from my personal perspective, the first time I saw a tornado in 1976, we had SLR cameras, a 16mm camera to do photogrammetric studies. Single Doppler radars were in their infancy, and we were photographically documenting the storms. When I look at this array of technology, it just blows me away, and we're expecting great things out of this. The communications revolution has fed this, and NSF is excited to be supporting this work right now.
We have come a very long way, haven't we? Dr. Small, appreciate it. It's a very exciting time for NSF as well as the entire Vortex 2 project, Stephanie. Couldn't be done without organizations like the National Science Foundation. Of course, you're going to hear a lot more about them and the Vortex 2 project, Steph. Now just T-minus 2 days and counting, getting really excited for this on Sunday.
Mike, all I kept thinking that whole time was no pressure to get good data from this project, right?
Exactly.
He's feeling the pressure, isn't he? We're going to tell you about your top 5. What kind of top 5? You'll have to stick around.